Hello, my name is David Webb and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I don't have a 7-letter play. I have got Farad across here, or Daraf at H8. Rack leave of TO is okay. And this looks promising. I may have a 7-letter bingo. I would have hospital through a P. Do I have anything through the existing floaters? I would have hail shot through an H. Can't see anything through the F. Although I note I have the fish suffix. Can't see anything through the A. What about the R? Can't see anything, and that just leaves the D. Okay, I can't see an 8-letter bingo. This is a really promising set of letters. I may have a 7, but I've certainly got more floaters to consider. There isn't a P for hospital. What about the W? No. What about the N? Gosh, I could be missing several bingos here. And they're all going to be very high probability. I can't see anything through the N or the I. Well, the E looks promising. Okay, well what about the S or the T, duplicating tiles on my rack? I would have thiazoles through a Z. Gosh, I mean, this is going to be a pretty easy rack to resolve. I could play ho or who at I7, but if I'm missing a bingo, that's going to be a big mistake. There could well be one through the T. I've got the IST ending, I've got the IEST ending. Gosh. Well, it's possible there isn't a bingo with these letters on this board. But it's going to be an expensive miss if there is. I would have acolyths through a C. Okay, I think I've spent long enough looking. And I think this is the best rack leave, and 20 points is a decent score. This isn't so good. I have got preponderance of vowels, and I've also got a U, which is a bad vowel. There are a lot of floaters, so I do need to consider if I have a bingo. If one of my A's was a U, I would have Nautilus through the N of Downiest. Well, I'm certainly looking to play off the A and the U. Which I can do. I could play Lorf at E4 down, but that's only going to score 7 points. I've only got 1 point tile, so it's going to be difficult to score well. By well, with this sort of rack, I mean 20 points plus. But it's such a balanced rack that changing is not going to be better than playing. Even Lauf is going to be better than changing. I'm wondering if I've got anything through the W. R takes an I at the end. Okay, 22 points for my opponent for lofting. He provides a floating L. That doesn't give me a bingo. And he takes the spot where I was considering playing Lauf. I do have Luna at K2 across. Or ulna in the same spot. Luna's better because it doesn't put the vowel next to a triple letter square. Only 8 points, but the rack leave is pretty good. And this looks close to a bingo. Can't see anything through the L of lofting. And the T and the S of downiest are both duplicates of tiles on my rack. Now what about the N of downiest? If one of my eyes were an A, I would have anti-spam. Impaints is good, but the N's in the wrong spot for that, and I don't think Impaints has got an anagram. A for 24 is fine for my opponent. Now I could play a lip at F4. That would resolve the rack. I need to be sure I'm not missing a bingo. I do have the L of Luna. Well, can't see anything through that. And there's the W of downiest. I could have a bingo beginning with W. I could play Wimp in that spot. 19 points. It's 22 for lip and purr. I think I prefer the extra points, and the M is not a bad tile to keep on my rack. It's insurance to guarantee that I'll be able to score well next go if I don't have a bingo. Okay, that's not a good pickup. I draw 2 T's to go with the one that I retained. I'm not sure about Matthias, but there isn't an E in an available position to try it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's good. It may be. I certainly want to play off a couple of T's, so a play of Mitt somewhere would do that. So I could play Mitt at F10 down, making hoot. I'm nearly 60 points behind, so I am a bingo adrift. I could play Matt at E5, making Mai and Aper. That's going to score more. 26 points. Okay, well that's two options. And either of them retains a decent rack leave, and there are floaters on the board, so maybe I will have a bingo next go. Okay, Matt 26 points. Well, no duplicates. Tinfuls. I think I have tinfuls. And possibly tins full. Tinfuls plays in column 11, making hoots. Tin's full. Does not take an S on the end. I'm not sure that plays anywhere. I have a slight doubt about tinfuls, but I am going to play it. If column 11 remains available. I would have flutings through a G. I don't think I have anything through the S and the T of downiest. At the moment I've only got one spot for tinfuls, and that could be blocked. If it is, I could play Flint at J2 down, 32 points, but it retains the U, and I'd like to play that off if possible. Now I need to consider the E of downiest. It is available as a floater, although that has now been taken out. Okay, so I've got extra floaters in Dink, but I can't see a bingo through them. So I'm going to try tinfuls. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure. And this is better than pluralizing Dink. And that's not a good pickup. 6 vowels. So I'm looking to play off some of them. Uri is a good 5-letter word with 4 vowels. That would leave me with AI. Not a disastrous leave. And I have Louis at K2 down, which retains the R. I would leave a rack leave of AIR. But it would be placing an E at O2, which is quite dangerous for my opponent using the triple word square at O1. But my priority is to resolve my own rack. At the moment I have a 2-point lead. I'm looking around to see what other opportunities are available to play off a lot of vowels. I haven't seen anywhere to play Uri. So at the moment Louis is the only word I've seen. I'm looking at the T of Matt, the second one, to see if I have anything coming down from A8. Oh, well, that's good. Now I have Zhao. I mean, it's a good score for my opponent, but it's good in the sense that I have Zhao, which plays off 3 vowels, IAO. 33 points, that's a lot more than Louis, and it resolves all the duplicates on my rack. And I think if there were a better play, it would be in the same spot, and I can't see one. This is not bingo-y, but it's reasonably balanced, and I do have the Y for score, and I'm only 9 points behind. Dinky is good. Yep, that's all those words are good for my opponent. I'm just looking at the available floaters to see if I have an unlikely bingo, but I can't see one. So now I'm looking for a spot where I can play my Y, one of my R's, and possibly my U. So a play of your would achieve that. That doesn't put the Y on the end of Dink. I could play underneath Dink, making Nye and Co. 26 points. It would leave EIR, which is not a bad rack leave, but I am opening up a triple word square for my opponent. is there something better? I could play U at M7. A duplicate R is not the worst thing in the world, especially if it's the only consonant you have. That would be 21 points. Well, I am behind, and U is taking out floaters, so I'm inclined to pursue the more volatile option. Whoops. $25 points, not 26. Just looking around in case I'm overlooking something a lot better. Well, not that I can see. Great. I may or may not have a bingo, but this is a very balanced rack, and I have the Z. If my opponent doesn't take O15, I've got Izzard down from K15 for a big score. But do I have a bingo? There's the L of Luna. Can't see anything through that. And there's the S and T of Downiest. Can't see anything through the S or the T. And then I've got the A and O of Zhao. Okay, can't see anything there. I'm wondering if I have a 7-letter bingo, but I can't see it. I would have diarizes through an I. Okay. Well, I can't see a bingo, so I do need to see what I can score with my Z. Can't see any great spots for it. I could play a Zia at J14 down. 37 points, that's not bad. I feel there ought to be something a lot better though. I could play Zany at K12 down, and that keeps a pretty good rack lead of rides. 32 points. Yeah, that's certainly a lot better than Zia, because it retains the E, and the E really helps the leave. Now, I could play across from the L of Tinfuls, so lazed. 48 points, that's not bad, and a rack leave of IRS. Yeah, I think that's got to be better than Zany, although the rack leave's significantly inferior. 48 points, that would put me on 286, a 5-point lead. Okay, but Lays does provide floaters in the E and the D. The L of Luna's available, the S and the T of Downiest are available, so I'm not shutting the board down with this play. I need to keep it open because I'm not yet ahead. This looks pretty good. Blousier through an E, but that doesn't go through the E of Lazed. Can't see anything through the L of Luna. And amazingly, the S of Downiest is still available, which is incredibly useful because it enables a 7-letter bingo to be pluralized. Good, my opponent has not scored highly. Now, is there an anagram through the T? Just can't see it. Now, I could play Bluette at A, 8 down, and what's good about that is it plays off my problem letters, the B and the U, and the L doesn't go well with the R, and it's opening the board up slightly, and since I am behind, that's good. Both blanks have gone. But the tiles that are left still have bingo potential with this rack leave. And look, there's only one I and one O, so I'm unlikely to duplicate them. And it would be impossible to triplicate them. 21 points. Well, that may not be the best available. Am I missing a bingo? I note that column 3 is also a bingo lane because the lip takes an S in front. But I don't have a 7-letter bingo with this rack. Yeah, I've given up looking for a bingo. Alright, Oreades and Osiad are the 7s. Neither of those plays. I'm 8 points ahead. Do I have an 8 through these floaters? This has been a tantalising game in the sense that I feel that I've been so close to a bingo. I may well have missed one or more. My opponent takes out several floaters, and he is now 13 points ahead. There are 11 tiles in the bag. Resoiled is not good. Erotized is good, and that just doesn't fit. Very nearly fits, but it doesn't. I don't think it has any anagrams. I'm looking in row O for that. Osiad and Oreades do not take an S on the end, so a bingo through the S would have to be quite a lot different. Okay, I don't have great scoring tiles, and there are very few vowels left. There are 5 vowels left out of 18. So I need to play off... Well, I could play Do, keeping Rise. That's pretty good. I don't particularly want to keep the D because I like the S of Downiest, and the D mainly features, or frequently features, in words ending ED. Rise is pretty good, especially with the L's of Bluette and Luna. Now, hopefully I can dodge the Q and maybe have a bingo. Right. Surely I have something here. I have Inertust at 01 across. So what goes through an L? There's Listener. Re-enlist. Oh yes, re-enlist does go. So if my opponent doesn't bingo, I think I will be bingoing. I don't think he can block re-enlist in column 2 and Inertust. Great, he doesn't. And the better remains available. Just going to pause after putting these letters down to be sure that this is the best. Inertus. There's also interest, but I can't see any difference between playing those two. There isn't a T in the bag, so my opponent can't play cat at N1 if he has the Q. This is going to give me about a 50 or 60 point lead. But my opponent could have a big play coming down column 4, placing the X at D4. And if I'm stuck with the Q, it could be quite a close ending. But there are eyes on the board. There's also J3, which has got a useful spot for the Q. Quag could be played down in column 3, starting at that square. But back to this play, certainly no reason not to play a bingo. There's no better bingo lane. I do not have a bingo ending in the B of Bluette. So it's a case of the choice of bingos in row O, and I can't avoid putting a vowel next to the triple letter square at N6. Ooh, horrible. Okay, it's horrible, but I do have a 56 point lead. A lot of that's going to evaporate with my opponent making an X play. I have got Chi at N1 for nearly 40 points. Do I have anywhere else really good for my Q? There's certainly plenty of spots for it, but if I'm only scoring about 10 points, that may not be enough to stay ahead of my opponent. But can my opponent block my Chi play at N2? Well, if he does, I can certainly block his X play at D4 just by playing Chi at B4. Not many points, but if I'm blocking a big X score, that's worth doing. It's possible I could be stuck with the V and the C. Okay, let's assess the situation. I've got 3 minutes left on my clock. My opponent's got 9 minutes. I'm 14 points ahead. My opponent's got gang on his rack. Well, I can't see anything better than a Chi for 37. Let's see if this is enough. I'm wondering if my opponent's considering gang at A1. Not 100% sure of Grex. That would be 38 points if it was good, and that would probably be enough. Yeah, I think he may win by 1 point. But if he doesn't play that, can he go out? And if he doesn't go out, what am I going to do with my C and my V? Well, looking at my V, I can play Van at M2. Is there anywhere else for my V? Dev at H15. Great, my opponent hasn't played gang and Grex. He's played gun at C7 and get. So I'm now 38 points ahead. So should I play Dev or Din? And should I play the C? I don't think it really matters. I don't think my opponent can now beat me. Now with the C, I've got ice at L8 across, and I've got peck at C3, so I'm not going to be stuck with it. I'm just looking around to see if there's anywhere great. I'm not going to be stuck with the V or the C, so it really is just a matter of playing whichever one of them scores the most. My opponent has got many spots where he can go out with his tiles of A and G, but none of them are going to score enough to win. I'm 45 points ahead. My opponent's going to get 6 on countback, so he would need to score 39 to draw, and he's not going to do that. I think his best spot may be G13, Ag, Ger and Azo. 21 points. I don't know why I'm unsure about Grex. It's possible it used to be good and no longer is. Certainly a word I should know. Okay, that's fine. Pass to end the game. And the final score, 411 to my opponent, 444 to me, a winning margin of 33 points. Let's see what I missed. And I'm doing this with more trepidation than normal because I think there could well be several bingo misses. But we're about to find out. This was my opening rack. And yeah, Daraf, Farad and Daftar. Okay, I didn't consider Daftar, but I think there's probably very little between those. Right, let's see what I had here. Ooh, Haliotis. Okay, well, it was a bingo miss, but it's a difficult word to spot. It's fairly high probability, and I certainly should have seen it. It's not an excuse that I missed it. It was a miss, but it was that was the only one, and it was to some extent obscure. Great, nothing missed here. And although Luna only scored 8, the other possibilities didn't score a great deal more, and Luna certainly had the best rack leave. Good, this was another rack where I thought I may have missed a bingo, and I didn't. What did I play? Lip and Purr. Yeah, that's fine. And Matt looks like it was best. And here, yeah, Great Tinfuls was good, and there were just the 2 spots for it, pluralizing Hoot and Dink, so both those options were considered, and column 11 was certainly the better spot, because it didn't open up the triple word square lane in column 15. Zhao looks like it was best. Lowry, I didn't consider that. Across from the L of Tinfuls, this is where I played Yor underneath Dink, and Lowry would certainly have been better, a lot less dangerous. And it would have provided floaters, so it would have been a better move. Phew. I had worries that I might have missed a common bingo with this rack, and I didn't. And nothing missed here. Great. It shows the importance of checking your games, because unless you check, you just don't know what you've missed. Great. Another rack where there wasn't a bingo miss. Now, what did I do here? This is where I played Do. Yeah, that looks fine. And Inertus and Interest were the best plays. Chi at M1, that was my play, that's best. Let's just see if Gang was available. Yeah, Gang and Grex were good. My opponent would have scored 38 points. That would have put him on 424. So he would have been 13 points behind, and he'd have got 14 on countback. So gang at A1 was a winning play for him, which fortunately for me he overlooked. And oh gosh, Sive and Vice, I had outplays in row L. Well, fortunately that didn't cost me the game, but it was an oversight. Right, well that's the end of that. Quite an unusual game. I felt that I was very close to a bingo on a lot of racks, but in fact Halai Otis was the only miss. It was an interesting game and a close game. My opponent could have won right at the end, and fortunately for me he didn't. So I hope you enjoyed watching that video. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.